man. These guys are good.
Welcome into the DNVR Avalanche podcast. We got AJ, we got Eric, we got Rudo. Avs do the thing where they win a hockey game in this one.
Foreign.
They did win, as much as it was a weird one at times for struggles and otherwise. They did win 4-3 over the Arizona Coyotes. They did not lose to a team that had lost 8 in a row. So, all those people who said they were gonna on Twitter at me, you were wrong, and I was right.
Neener.
Let's get into it. Let's do the 60-second run down. Stop me if you've heard this first period before. The Avs score first, but lose the period by giving up 2 goals in a short amount of time.
Stop.
Thank you.
Evaluate.
I appreciate. Not a great period for Colorado, mostly designed around the fact that they took 3 penalties. Even if they were soft calls, you got to find a way to keep yourself out of the box. Second period was better, higher octane. The Avs score 2, they give up 1. You get a quality performance out of Jack Johnson on the offensive side of the puck. Has a multi-point night. Impressive stuff. It's 3-3 after 2. The third period has both teams get a goal taken off the board because of being offside, only for the Avs to finally score what ends up being the game-winning goal, 4-3 by Devon Taves. I did not do the weirdness of this game justice, but we'll talk about it as this podcast goes on, because it was yet another very weird hockey game between Colorado and Arizona.
Yeah, an absolute goof troop of a game, dude.
It's a sausage.
Not a ham sandwich this time?
No,
a sausage?
it was a sausage of a game.
Fair enough. Let's go back to the start here. You felt like the Avs started well, right? They did all the right things. They get rewarded for it. Ross Colton's able to put them on the board 1-0. You're getting... let's have this conversation. What is Ross Colton production count as? Is that depth scoring? Or is that your second line?
That's a trick question.
It's both, man. I mean, I'm not trying to be an asshole here, but
no, I agree with you on this one.
Like, even during the watch-along, people were like, oh, wouldn't it be nice to have a second line? It's like, your second line center scored in this game.
Yep. If you get a goal a game out of your second line, you're doing pretty well.
He has, 4 points in the 6 games now? 7 games since the All-Star break?
That would be 7, yeah.
I think it's 4 points.
Sounds right.
So it's not overwhelming.
Yep.
You know, like,
but it's fine.
Yeah, but for a second line guy, you're like, okay, that's right around in the neighborhood of what a second line guy produces. He doesn't even play second line minutes.
I know.
If you go and look at it, he plays 14 minutes a night.
Yep. That's closer to third line than second line.
Exactly. If you put him at 16 minutes a night, I would love to see how that goes.
Is there more there?
Yeah, but we don't live in that world, so whatever. Point is, it's a great play by that line. It's a great goal. It's a good finish by Ross Colton, and it's production that you sorely need.
Yep. Which is great. I think the first 5 minutes of this game, none of us would have any problems with the way the Avs played. But ultimately, they lose the first period. Let's just have this conversation now so we can have it. What do you do with Makar and Taves? Because I get it. Taves gets the game-winning goal. Great, awesome. Defensively, that pairing was once again a nightmare.
Yeah.
It's been tough, right? I mean, I think Kale will be the first one to tell you, like, he's better than that. Is that normal to have some ebbs and flows? Yeah, but right now I think it's getting to be a little concerning, the two of them. They need to be better, especially, let's not kid ourselves tonight. This is the Arizona Coyotes. It's not the number 1 team in the NHL. This is a team that lost 10 in a row. So this is not... It wasn't a big test. It's not like you're playing big minutes against Connor McDavid or Leon Draisaitl. So those minutes are coming, right? Those games are coming. You got Dallas, Vancouver. Some teams are coming in, right? Toronto, Matthews, Marner. I mean, they're bigger tests. They got to find their game. I think the 3 of us are on the same page that they didn't find their game tonight. You know what I mean? As a duo. They're better than that. Their decision making's not there. The execution's not there.
Well, I mean, I think it's an interesting comparison because with Taves, you can say, hey, he didn't have a good night. He still found a way to have a big moment in this game. Something that you come to expect out of top players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been 3, 4, 5 games now of Cale Makar where there is not a lot to love. And I get, on an individual shift, he can make an amazing play tonight. I get that.
Had one in the first part of the game where he
Goes all the way deep in behind the net. Yeah.
It was fantastic and creates a great scoring chance. And then that was kind of it.
Yeah.
You can tell he's trying. Like, that's what we're saying. We're saying he's trying. But he's just on the wrong end of some weird plays lately, right? You know what I mean?
It's certainly not a lack of effort, but it is a lack of execution.
Yes. I think, even that is it the first goal that he's in front there?
It is.
Yep.
Yeah, so those things usually don't happen with him. He's almost like a magician. So he's showing us that he's human. But this is a stretch right now that it's starting to be like, okay, let's get out of this stretch. Let's get the real Cale. Let's get the real Devon. Let's get the real top unit in the NHL back, where for almost 30 minutes a night, as fans, as coaches, as teammates, you actually feel pretty good and you're breathing really nice and your heart rate's not going up because you're like, oh shit, we're in trouble.
I don't know what you do, because even if you're sitting here and say, hey, break him up, give him something else, give him a different look, it's not that easy to just do that, particularly because the last couple games Josh Manson hasn't been any good.
Which is part of the deal.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to have guys go through ruts. Now, when Josh Manson goes through a bad stretch, it's not great when it's at the same time your top pairing is also going through one. But it is also really encouraging that as that pairing is going through it, Bowen Byram is not.
He is. Yeah. He has picked it up.
This is his third straight game with
multi-point night
with 2 points.
Yep.
So you're talking about a guy that's finding it, and there haven't been a lot of cheap points in that.
Nope.
Like the
cheapest one is that backdoor goal, probably.
Yeah, the goal in Tampa Bay where it's not covered and he just comes in and pokes it into the net.
Yep.
But the rest of those, I mean, the assist that he has on MacKinnon's goal right after they give up the lead, it's just a great play.
Springs him to do what MacKinnon does.
Exactly.
And then I'm assuming he's part of our 3, so we can talk about him later. But
yeah, we can save that.
The thing with it being Makar and Taves having an off night or games or whatever you want to call it, it is significantly more detrimental to the Avs when they're having an off night as opposed to a Rantanen having an off night. Because the Avs as a hockey team are built for their defense to be the best part of their hockey team as a whole.
It's like their top line.
Yeah.
And then their defense.
Yep.
Those are supposed to be the greatest strengths that they have.
Yep.
And so when your top pairing is bad and Mikko Rantanen is really
it's hard
really
to win
struggling.
Hockey games like that, man.
Yeah. You're going to struggle to win, which they did.
You're talking about that 2C there earlier. That's kind of what it is, right?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, part of it is because of their defense. We've been talking about it all year. So that softens the blow of the problem, whatever you want to call that. Bit of a hole there at 2C, right? So, but when there's a little bit of a problem back there, then you're struggling. And that's why they struggle on that road trip. So, hey, hopefully it's a sign of a good, a win's a win. Hopefully it's a sign of, like they beat a team that's lost 10 in a row. I'm not being negative. I'm saying this is reality. It wasn't perfect, but they found a way.
Was tonight their 10th?
Ninth?
Yeah. Oh, is it 9th?
It's
sorry.
Jesus.
They do have to play tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow is Edmonton, right?
So I think penciling it in for 10.
Yeah, pretty safe bet.
That's rough.
At 2 o'clock tomorrow.
Yep. A quick turnaround against McDavid.
Yeah.
2 o'clock when McDavid's waiting over there for you.
So I would feel a lot worse for them if they did not get a home game the day after the Christmas break, in which they have a team from Colorado that travels every single time. Like, this is why on days like that you're like, look, the schedule tends to even out over time.
It does, but there's some sausage of turns in there though somewhere. That's certainly a turn for them. Wow,
sheesh.
That's a shitty one.
Yeah, don't envy their situation there. Certainly not gonna bother thinking about it too much. when you look at Colorado right now, and I know we're going through some negative stuff. They won the game. I'm ultimately pretty positive about this game on the whole, that they found a way to get a win that they needed.
The negativity is it was a weird game, so a lot of strange stuff happened. Some bad habits that we've seen far too often this season
Creep in a bit,
really shaped how a lot of this game played out. But yeah, when you get into the numbers at the end of the game, you're like,
the Avs did what they needed to do.
That face is sick.
The typical Arizona nonsense happened.
Don't come at me with this. Like, this is not a game that they got dominated in.
No.
This game should not have been anywhere as close as it was in Colorado's favor. They should have won this game fairly comfortably. Yeah.
I will say, because let's just get all the negative things out before we start talking about the positives and all that. It did feel like the Avs had an opportunity to kind of stomp down on the throat here with the power plays.
Yeah.
And they failed to convert.
Well, their special teams once again is lacking.
Yep.
Because they give up a power play goal, and it could have been way worse. But they give up a power play goal that puts them down 2-1 in the first period after that torrid start that they had.
Yep.
Then they have 6 minutes of power play time in the second
More
period.
or less back to back.
Yeah, that was 4 of those minutes was consecutive, and that came just minutes after
a 2-minute
off the challenge, off of a lost challenge from Arizona. You're talking about all the momentum in the world should be going to them, and they produce nothing.
If anything, they suck the momentum out of the building.
Yeah, when you don't score on a 4-minute, if you're not going to kill your own momentum, it needs to be a crazy power play.
Yep.
It was not. There were moments. They came very close to scoring at the very end of it.
Yeah.
Once they took the big guys off the power play.
It's not good enough.
No, I agree.
And your special teams goes through these stretches sometimes. We talk about it every single season. There will be times where your power play is just not great. It's going to go through a stretch like this. Earlier this year, it went through a stretch. We talked about this on the watch along, where it scored in like 12 of 13 games or whatever it was, in like 8 or 9 games straight, even though it didn't look very good. It was still producing like crazy, and it just hockey be weird, and it just goes like that sometimes.
But I'm going to be negative here for this 10 seconds because it is negative.
Going to be more than 10 seconds negative.
No. I'm just saying, and we don't want to be negative because, like AJ said, we were looking at the
positives
numbers.
are coming. I promise.
Yeah. No. I know you're positive enough. I'm not saying that. I'm saying. AJ was saying 2 seconds ago about the numbers, and we were just looking and we're like, oh my God, they gave up 12 shots at 5-on-5. Like,
they were pretty good.
They were pretty freaking good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go back to the point you were just, the two of you talking about is the power play. At the spring dance, that 4-minute power play, the way they handled it against a playoff team, it could have cost them the game. You know what I mean? It's that big of a margin. Like
Probably will.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, that's why I said it's going to be negative here, what I'm going to say. You know what I mean? If this was the spring dance, that 4-minute could have been the difference between winning and losing the game. You know what I mean? I just felt it was piss poorly executed. You know what I mean? And managed. You know what I mean?
Well, I want to talk about the management a little bit here.
Sure.
Is there, as AJ mentioned, they're on a stretch where the power play hasn't been great.
Yeah,
Things haven't been working. Bednar's answer to trying to get them out of this funk on that 4-minute power play is giving MacKinnon and Rantanen a 3.5-minute shift.
Yeah.
Is this just Kobe Bryant levels of let them shoot through it, or do they have to try something else?
I'll steal it from AJ before because he knows what I'm going to say, right? What am I going to say? You know what I'm going to say. I hate it. Like I do. I'm a big. I don't know why, and I'm not being ancient, and there's still teams like that are doing this. And I do believe you go hard, you go for a minute. Sometimes it's under a minute because there was an ice, the ice, the puck, you change. You'll get it back because you'll come back at the end. And I understand Nate and those guys are elite players, and Nate's got a excellent tank. You know what I mean? That we can, get out there longer. I don't believe in that. I maybe it's because I'm from the Avalanche 1.0 where a lot of times Sakic at a minute, Forsberg at the other minute. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I don't believe in that because I feel your play is just not elevated. You're just kind of waiting there, and you're cheating the game. And it's just human nature. I mean, it's not just human nature. It's the law of like the body. Like there's no way if you're going all out, you can last that long.
Sure.
There's no way. So somewhere, somehow, you're cheating the game. You're not really going all out. So I don't believe in that. And then for me, when you're in a funk like this, that's when you simplify it. How do you simplify it? By getting to it, like, let's just look at the length of time they're out there, and then we'll manage it. All I'm saying, I'm not comparing MacKinnon, Ranson into, but the other unit went out there and freaking had a great play and score, right?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, we'll never know how the second unit is because they get out there 10 seconds.
Yep.
It's hard, like, and I'm not complaining. I'm saying that's when you're built that way, it comes with the territory. I think you just got to find a way right now to manage the minutes a little bit better on that sense. That's just my 2 cents.
I guess I'm just a little bit curious because I'm looking at it and you're seeing the top pairing is not played well. Do you consider breaking them up?
Yeah.
The power play is not going right now. Do you try to throw some different unit looks out there? I think ultimately whatever you do, things will get better just naturally after a certain amount of time in both cases. But is swapping things something the coach should be doing, or is it meddling too much? I don't have a good answer for you.
No, me, it's more simplify it. You know what I mean? Like, and it starts with the length of the time you're out there.
Sure.
You keep the same guys. I got no problem. But then get off. If it's not working, get off. Let the other guys go for 30 seconds. If it's not working, you'll get the last 30. You know what I mean? Somewhere, somehow. I got no problem. If you're scoring every time, like they were on that torrid pace for like 20 games, sure, awesome, good for you. But when you're not, then it's a tough look. It's a weird look to look at.
The power play struggles also really drive home. Does it sound really weird in here? Sorry. The power play struggles really drive home how hard Makar is pressing right now.
I think
because he's just
true, yeah.
firing and firing and firing away, and so that's the Kobe Bryant shoot through it.
Yeah.
But it's easier to shoot through it when you're Kobe on an 81-point night than Kobe on a 22-point night on 37 shots, and that's where Kale is right now.
Yeah.
And he's just trying to shoot his way through his struggles, and you get it. You can understand, like,
it'll break through eventually.
Exactly. And then you know that he'll have, 8 points in 3 games, something like that. He'll have a stretch like that.
Of course.
And it'll be, it'll feel like all is right in the world again. But more than anything else with Kale's game right now, it's the defensive end that really bothers me.
Particularly the puck management.
Yeah. But you can see throughout Makar's career, even when he wasn't at his best, it always felt like, at least on the power play, he was dangerous. It felt like you had to be very acutely aware of where he was and what was going on. And
the fly up there or something?
No. But right now,
it's paranoid tonight.
Right now, you don't feel that way about his game because he's not stepping into space the way that he normally does.
Yeah.
He's not creating shooting lanes. He's taking what's given to him and he's trying to force it through traffic.
Yep.
And when Val Nichushkin was there tipping pucks home every single game, you felt like, yeah, man, this is working. Just keep doing what you're doing. But you knew that wasn't sustainable. And two, Nichushkin's not there anymore. And the guys that are there, Arturi Lehkonen is great at a lot of things, but he's merely good at that. And
Val's the best in the league.
He's
Bar
not.
none.
Well, Landeskog's better, but
he hasn't been around in 2 years.
that's what I'm saying.
God bless him, I love him.
So it's tough to see that, now and then they've tried to get away from that a little bit and try and go to MacKinnon with the one-timer because that's worked a little bit more this year than in previous years.
Right back to putting it to the chest.
Neither one of those strategies are really why they've had the success that they've had in recent years. And when you look, hold on real quick.
Go ahead.
When you look at when Nichushkin was scoring a lot of goals and the power play did feel like it was humming, what did they do? They moved the puck down low. They pulled PKs apart. They weren't shooting from out high all the time. They were getting Nichushkin tips,
Piano?
on shots. He's
Move your feet.
Yeah, move your feet. He's talking about guys moving around. And when they had one of their most dangerous chances tonight, they didn't even shoot on because they had that little set play off of one face-off.
Yep.
And they went down and around, and then they had Mikko to Kale, and then
didn't pull the trigger on it.
exactly.
Yeah.
They had it there, and they decided not to go for it. So it's a power play right now it's confidence. It's lacking confidence, and they're trying to force it. They know that there's a lot of pressure on them to produce in those moments. They know that if they don't produce in those moments, winning gets a lot harder.
It's just to back up, you're trying to force it, because I agree 100%. The other thing to that recipe is you have Mikko Rantanen sitting on the half wall who refuses to pull the trigger. A guy who has one of the best one-timers in the league, is absolutely lethal from that right circle. And the Avs have to settle for Makar and MacKinnon shooting pucks at times. Not that that's the worst thing in the world.
Right.
But the best shooter on the ice there is Mikko Rantanen.
Yeah.
And the one shot he tried to take tonight, the stick blows up, and that's just the Avs power play luck right now.
Yeah.
But
the other hard part of that, I think, is that Mikko Rantanen just doesn't have a lot of those goals this year where he's just going bombs away from that spot where he's been so lethal in recent years. A lot of his goals this year are tips,
little cute
rebounds,
stuff,
a couple of empty netters. Like it hasn't been the kind of Mikko Rantanen season that we've become very accustomed to
But that's a
seeing.
question of feel, you know what I mean? Because when that comes, he might go, like you said, 10-5, you know what I mean? Because he's not feeling it right now. You know what I mean? Like it's not, and you can tell he's gun shy, like you said. He's not even attempting that short high, glove, shot that he has.
That one-timer's not there. It was nice. He did walk in on a short side one time tonight, and we thought he had it.
Yep.
But that's what you want to see. That's what you want to see, even if he didn't score on it tonight.
Well, 5, 6, 7 times.
Yeah, you want to see and feed him those opportunities.
Yeah.
Some of this, I think, is also a personnel problem because
I don't disagree.
nobody is afraid of Jonathan Duran in front of the net.
No.
He's not a guy that excels in puck retrieval. He's not a guy that excels tipping pucks home. He's not a guy that excels going and getting rebounds. That is a guy that needs to be where Mikko Rantanen is, making passes, cross-seam passes, finding seams in the PK because that's where he's at his best. He's a magician there. He's absolutely lethal. And so as long as you continue to run this personnel, you have a problem. You put Ross Colton there. We've seen a lot of Ross Colton and Arturi Lehkonen in there. For my money, this is also
It's
a
no
misuse of Ross Colton.
Ross Colton's a shooter. He's a shooter, man.
This has never been what Ross Colton does when he was in Tampa Bay. His best attribute on a power play was taking one-timers off the far side. They continue to run a 3D second unit that, in my opinion, it's just a mess. It's completely miscast. It's a total misreading of what the personnel should be. Is there an easy answer right now? No, there is not. There is not an easy answer because Colton and Duran are arguably the best options for that top power play unit. That puts a lot of pressure on the big three guys to try and get it done. There's not an easy answer other than they just need to play better. They need to finish. They need to execute better. This is not, I'm sorry, it's not a scheme problem. These guys have been running the same basic thing for 6 years, 5 years, whatever it is now.
Works relatively well.
Exactly. It's been a top 10 power play more often than not for the last several hundred NHL games. This is not time to fire your power play coach. Like, come on now. But it is an execution problem, as you mentioned earlier with Makar. And so you look at that, and I think you saw that rear its head a lot tonight, especially in that second period. A period they won, and we are still talking about this issue.
I know.
I do love that it comes full circle there, too, because we want the Avs to split up that power play a little bit more, give more time to the second unit.
I do.
But the Avs are sitting in this perfect microcosm of a world where if you get Val back, all of a sudden he's on the top unit, and maybe you can drop a Colton down, and maybe that second unit starts to look a little better. I'm not going to get way too into the weeds on this. But my point is, it's kind of a negative feedback loop here, right? Where the top unit needs to take these guys off the second unit, and then they don't score, and then you can't use the second unit, so you got to keep using the top unit.
Well,
and it's kind of just the snake eating its own tail.
I just think there's a better way.
Delicious.
I think there's a happier medium. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel that right now it's so top heavy, like the whole time. Basically, it's the whole 2 minutes. It went to 4 minutes today. It was basically 4 minutes. I mean, I'm
the whole
saying,
thing,
like, So I think there's a happy medium. I'm a big believer. I don't care how they're built. Like I play with superstars like freaking Gretzky and Sakic, and I get it. But there's got to be a hungry factor. It's got to be a hunger factor. So that unit, they know they're going to be there for the 2 minutes, and sometimes it's negative. It's harmful. It's, you know what I mean? Like, there's got to be a freaking, like, hey, if you're not producing that first minute, it's like anything else. Like, you put a timing on it. You know what I mean? Like, it's like negotiations, you know? There's always a trigger. There's a timing. There's dates. If there's like, hey, if you're not first, get off. Tough shit. You know what I mean? Like, and let the other guys go. Like you said, if Val comes back, then all of a sudden it trickles people down, and then you have a better set of maybe a better second unit.
Even with my issues with the second unit usage tonight, they produce your best scoring chance with Zach Parise right at the end of the 4 minutes.
Yep.
And you wonder how much of that is just a sense of urgency. The top unit never looks like they're in a hurry. They never look sped up.
2 minutes.
They never look like they're trying to get anywhere going, you know?
That's what I'm saying.
And your second unit, it shows a sense of urgency.
Yes.
A sense of urgency makes it harder for the PK.
Yep.
When you're just standing there moving the puck around in very predictable ways, it's pretty easy.
Yep.
It's easy to defend. I think the Avs top guys, when they're not playing well, they do a great job of defending themselves, especially on a power play.
Yep.
And you see that second unit's got a different look. The PK struggles to defend it.
Yep.
I don't think that's a coincidence. I just don't. And so I think you're at the point where you're like, give it a minute 20, put the second unit out there.
I'm with it.
I have a hard time with it.
I had a hard time with the conspiracy theory in this hockey game to ruin my Bet365 bets. All right?
Probably.
I had Alex Kerfoot anytime goal scorer.
Oh, that's cold.
It
Plus
comes off the
450.
board. 425.
425,
Plus
sorry.
425.
That's cold, man.
Tough one for me that Bednar challenged that goal.
That's 2 bad beats for you in the last week with the 2 minutes.
Exactly
with
10 minutes.
The 10 minutes in Washington and now this. That is a bad beat for you.
I did at least hit my Taves point bet, so I got a little something today with Bet365. Go put your bets with Bet365 when you sign up with the DNVR 365 code. When you use that DNVR 365 code to sign up with a new account, you bet $5 on any NHL game, you get $150 in bonus bets. So jump in it, get $150 to play with, have a little fun with it. Fade my bets if you think I'm an idiot. Go with my bets if you think I'm feeling lucky that day.
You're not an
Whatever
idiot.
you want to do. You can go bet on other games, which apparently hammer the Isles to blow leads.
Oh, if you have an Islanders game and they have a lead in the third period and the other team is plus money,
Take it
that
every
should
time.
be automatic betting.
Get on it with Bet365. Of course, you must be 21 or older, physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. And then, when you win a little bit of that money and you want to go put it in a safe place, make sure you hit up Premier Members Credit Union. A lot of financial institutions out there to choose from, but Premier Members Credit Union is the one to go with. They're not a bank, which means they do things a little bit differently, like putting their members first with higher savings interest and lower loan rates. It's a part of the Colorado community here. They've been here for a very long time, and with PMCU, you get local branches, friendly tellers, and the tools you need to save, including their new high-yield savings account, or the option to earn 5% APY on your first $2,000 with their reverse tier money market. Go check them out if you haven't hit up PMCU yet. They have a ton of amazing tools, and when you become a new member at PMCU, you'll get $200. All you have to do is open a checking account and sign up for e-statements, and they'll give you $200. So that's kind of just free money, basically.
They have my car loan,
Oh, yeah, there you go.
and the interest rate on it is
Not bad.
nice,
Not
man.
bad.
Very unlikely I get that interest rate on my next car.
At least you got it there.
Yeah.
Take it where you can get
Yeah,
it.
it's been a great experience so far.
Hell yeah. Go to becomepremier.com to find out more about Premier Members Credit Union.
Nice.
Second period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast. Let's get into who's getting the high interest rate returns for Colorado in this game. Our 3 stars of the night. I don't even know them. You guys didn't even tell them to me. AJ picked them, so.
Yeah, this keeps being a thing. I keep doing them, and you guys have no idea, but I think our third star. Are we ready? Yeah, I think our third star is Bowen Byram again.
I think he's been on every one of these graphics.
Yeah. We started the 3 stars graphics, and it's just been the Bo show.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's a Bo time.
My man.
French guy coming in.
Yeah, the play of Bowen Byram again, it hasn't been perfect, but the big problem that I've had with him has not been defensively. It's hit or miss defensively, and I don't mind a young guy going through growing pains on defense.
Same.
You've got hundreds of games to figure out how to play defense in the NHL until most guys get good at it.
Yep.
Cale Makar is still trying to get good at it. When he gets there, look out, my friends. Look at the difference. There have been a lot of things, but look at the difference with Sam Girard. He started to get to a certain point in his
Things
career.
started clicking in.
Exactly.
He's the Avs' best penalty killer on the team now.
And the two-way game has really, for Sam Girard, has clicked this year.
Yep.
In a way that it never has before since he came back from his leave.
Yep.
Now, again, there's a lot of things that you could point to.
For sure.
But if you can't tell me that all the experience that he's had, all the ups and downs and learning what works and what doesn't hasn't played a factor in it. We're seeing that with Byram. And with Byram, the offensive aggression has always been my number one issue with his game. It was a huge reason why he was drafted where he was. It was not because he was a world-class defender for the Vancouver Giants. It was because the two-way game was very dynamic.
Yep.
And he was really good with the puck. And he was the first guy in WHL history to lead the postseason in scoring as a defenseman. Yep. He's got a great shot. He's capable of a great deal of goal scoring. Certainly better than we've seen in the NHL to this point. And even then, he scores a handful of goals every year.
Yep.
The guy's career high is 10 already.
And he's played like 40 games a year.
Right, exactly. But we're seeing some of the playmaking over the last week. We're seeing more of that playmaking come in, and look at the assist that he has on the MacKinnon goal. In particular, that goal, that is him attacking and then making a great pass to MacKinnon. MacKinnon does a great job staying with it, whatever. But a great play by Bowen Byram. And so he gets our third star. Another good offensive performance from him.
But my only thing, I think we all agree with him, is go out there and try. Try shit. That's
Have
the
the confidence
beautiful
to make
of
the
Bednar
play.
Yes.
and Pratt.
Yep.
Like, they don't have the shackles on you.
Yep.
Go and try shit. Try it. Go. And you're so smooth, you'll get back. You're right. You're right about defending. First of all, who wants to defend? Nobody.
Spoken like a forward right there.
Well, no, I'm being honest. I've never met a D in the NHL that wants to defend. Everybody wants to go play in the sandbox, which is where? The offensive zone. That's what you want to do. Whether you're a forward, whether you're a D, you want to get the F out of your own end. That's what you want to do.
I think I've met a couple of goalies that probably want you to
Well, yeah,
defend.
exactly. You're Patty Waugh. You defend. Well, you know what I'm
Georgiev
saying?
probably wants a little more pucks than
You know
he's
what I
getting.
mean. You got to remember, it's the best league in the world. Guys on the other team will make plays. They're good at it. So if you're pinning your own end, it's not fun. I don't care if you're good at it. No one's good at it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like you're lucky at it sometimes. You're whatever it is. But I think Bo is more like, it's a great pick by you. We've been critical of him this year, but you're right. The last 3 games since we invented the 3 stars, because it's never been invented before by any other network or any building in the National Hockey League, 3 stars. We're special.
They are welcome for the idea, the concept of 3 stars coming from us.
And then all of a sudden, Bo has been the star of our stars.
Wouldn't be the first, wouldn't be the last defenseman to make up for some questionable defensive end stuff with offensive production.
100%.
Yeah, and if you're going to go through growing pains on defense, be dope on offense. You can live with that stuff.
Exactly.
Don't go in your own end. You won't mess up. There you go. It's very simple.
Best defense is good offense.
That's it.
Well, and our second star of the night tonight is the other half of Colorado's third pairing on defense.
Go.
Jack Johnson. What the hell?
What a monster.
What the hell? Not only does that pass that he come from Ryan Johansson, but the move that he makes where he reads
just
it and he
rolls
just
in, yeah.
ducks on in. It's a very dynamic play. Now he has to make that count. Because if that misses the net and it rims out of the zone,
You're in trouble.
he is better off changing than trying to get back. At this point in his career, Jack Johnson skates like a glacier moves. So he has no choice but to put that thing on net. He does. The Melka botches it, and it goes in.
Right in the middle of the net. I love it.
Dude, it's not a special shot. There's nothing special about it except you make the other guy, you force the opposing goaltender to make a play. He botches
didn't do
it.
it, yeah.
You get the goal. Great job by Jack Johnson.
Is that not a perfect example of the difference between a Cale Makar trying to force it, who you saw shoot the puck wide multiple times tonight, and Jack Johnson just throwing the thing on net?
Jack Johnson just being like, I got to get it on net because otherwise I'm in trouble.
And you put it on net, good things happen. All right. We have a slight microphone malfunction.
So it's
fine. We fixed
We're good.
it.
We're good.
It's just a good, solid play by Jack Johnson. He gets the game time goal. Great job.
Yep.
GG.
And
then he
no
picks-
notes on Jack Johnson.
He picks up the secondary assist on MacKinnon's goal and Yahtzee.
And you had a 2-point night from your third pairing on a night where your top pairing was pretty rough.
Yeah.
That is how the Avs defense is built.
Exactly.
Is to pick each other up a little bit.
That said, when you have he had a goal and an assist in about 5.5 minutes of ice time.
Maybe play him a little more.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Who's our number one? I don't even know.
I don't either.
We had 9 shots.
I
on
made
that.
it Nathan MacKinnon because the goal that he scores, it's persistence. Keeps at it. He keeps working. He keeps digging. And there's a thing that we have all struggled with Nathan MacKinnon at times where when he decides he's done with the play, he's done with the play.
Yeah.
This was not one of them. He kept working at it. For some reason, Arizona thought it might have been goaltender interference on him. It wasn't. And he gets a goal right after they make it 3-2.
Yep.
Immediately after, boy, was that a bad beaten -1 in the plus-minus category.
That's tough,
He
man.
comes out of the box, never has a chance to join the play. They score a goal, and it's like, okay, that's a bad one. He gets the game-tying goal there, but also look at the play that he makes later on for his assist. It creates the game-winning goal.
It wasn't the full-on Mad Mac tonight,
Yeah.
but I think you got a partial. Where Nathan MacKinnon's mindset, particularly beyond like the halfway point of this game, was he just said, fuck this shit. I'm going to get a puck, I'm going to put my head down, and I'm going to drive the net, and whatever's going to happen is going to happen.
Well, you saw multiple times off of face-offs in the neutral zone. He creates a scoring chance by himself.
Yep.
Because Arizona's like, all right, everybody be careful. Be careful. It's Nathan MacKinnon. And Nathan MacKinnon, he wasn't being careful at all. He was just like, no, I'm going to do this.
That was like a video game noise right there.
So you see that MacKinnon, it's encouraging to see that sometimes when it's just not going for other guys, he's just deciding, I'm going to try and make this happen. And now it's funny because we're giving him credit for that, and we're talking about how Cale Makar's forcing it. But that's the difference between when it's working for you and when it's not.
If you force it and it works, then it works.
Exactly. then you're hard nosed, you're gritty, you're determined. And when you're forcing it and it doesn't work, you're in a rut. But that's what a rut is.
How many times have we talked about this with someone like Bo and Byram too? A lot of the difference there is just confidence.
Yeah.
It's funny to see, for as good as a Nathan MacKinnon is, sometimes you can see it where that light bulb comes on and it's like they remember that they're actually just better than everybody else.
Especially for whatever reason against Arizona.
Yeah.
Nathan
he gets
MacKinnon.
some dander up for sure.
Yeah, Nathan MacKinnon is like, this franchise has never once in its history had a player as talented as I am. So I'm just going to go dominate everybody.
But
If it works.
again, he had 9 shots on that.
Yeah, he was a
right?
monster.
I think
He
9.
was fantastic at.
Yeah.
There were points in this game where you could be frustrated,
Totally.
but on the whole, Nathan MacKinnon looked exactly like what an MVP candidate should look like.
Yep.
He put the team on his back
Yeah.
in the second half of the game in particular.
We need the 2 points. Let's
Created.
Go down.
He gets the game tying goal.
Assists on the game-winning
Yeah,
goal.
and has an assist on the game-winning goal. Makes a great play to really kind of get a kick started in the offensive zone, and you win the game.
That's what Superstar does.
It's nice to have them. Arizona wouldn't know.
Oof, that's cold, brother.
Whoa.
That's cold, brother. They're not wrong, though. Shout out the PHNX gang. I'm sure they're doing their post-game, too.
They were very not
Yeah.
positive before, meaning like they didn't think they were going to win before the game.
Look, man, I almost felt bad for him on the pregame.
I know.
When they're talking about, can Clayton Keller tie the franchise high, and not franchise, it's Arizona high, of 86 points. And it's like, damn, you live in the rough life here.
Yeah, I think Nathan MacKinnon's up to 91 after tonight.
Yeah, there won't be
On the
91 with
season?
the assist. Less than 60 games in, has more than any Coyote ever.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's the difference between being a Muppet and a Muppet baby.
That laugh is sick. Evil.
Nathan MacKinnon is Kermit.
That laugh is evil.
The Coyotes are the TV show The Muppet Babies.
That was so far out of left field. I don't even know where to begin.
Where
God.
are we?
With what was that?
What is going on?
On that note, we are.
Oh, that's red. What is that?
What is that? Great question. We'll do those in a
Tip's face
second.
makes me nervous. In this, because of the way that she looked at us, not in general.
She had that evil laugh. See, that's your laugh right now. The
We
evil
are brought to you by American Financing. AJ was talking about good rates earlier. You can get some good rates with American Financing. Home loan rates currently are in the 5s right now. It's been a long time since they've been that low. You can get in with that with American Financing. And maybe more importantly, what they do best is eliminate high-rate credit card debt and things of that nature to get you more financially stable and set up. Make sure. What are you still losing it about? Make sure you get with American Financing. They save their customers on average $854 a month. That adds up to over $10,000 in a calendar year. And the coolest part is they might be able to delay your next 2 mortgage payments. So in the immediate, they can really help you out a ton. And they might be able to close your loan in as little as 10 days. Go call American Financing today. Give them a call at 303-695-7000. Let them know DNVR sent you over there. Or go to americanfinancing.net/DNVR. NMLS 182334, NMLSconsumeraccess.org. And once you've got your good rates all fully set up, make sure you take that extra cash you got and get down to Circle K. Get
Yeah.
yourself in the inner circle. You don't really need that much extra cash.
Snacks.
Snacks. We had some good snacks today. I'll tell you what. You can never go wrong with a Circle K gummy worm. I'll tell you. Sour, sweet, whatever you want to get. Circle K's got you covered. With Inner Circle, you save a ton, especially on the weekends when it comes to their snack options. You also get 25 cents off per gallon on your first 5 fill-ups at the pump. So go to CircleK.com/InnerCircle today or use that QR code on screen to get signed up and get yourself some delicious Inner Circle snacks. Third period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast. All right, let's do whatever this is. Thank you for the 100 likes, chat. Is it red because we're drinking the blood of our enemies? Is that what Dr. Dubs is prescribed today?
Enemy blood.
Sedona red.
Sedona red. There you go. There it is. Appreciate you, chats. Some vitamin W for everybody. It's good to be back in the winner's circle.
I still don't know what that is.
All right. Third period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast.
Devil's blood.
Jesus.
Tough night for the guys in the stripes. And I don't even necessarily mean the refs.
Dude,
The linesman.
is that the single worst 10-minute stretch for
NHL lines.
like linesman crew imaginable?
The Miko one was like really God.
You can understand the Kerfoot.
It's
the
in
puck
the
is
air.
in the
That's
air.
hard read.
It was really close, even on
The other
replay,
one.
where we spent how much time just being
Yeah.
like, "Where is the puck?"
The Miko one was pretty bad.
Yeah, it was
It's
bad.
like-
it was so bad that on the watch along, if you were
We
watching
knew
the
it.
watch along, We called it immediately.
Yep.
And I said it would be tremendous theater if they were to score and have to challenge it and come back. That's exactly what happens.
Puck, post, in.
Ridiculous. I mean, I'm sorry, but that one is inexcusable.
Yeah, you got to get that one live.
Yeah,
That's
not-
ridiculous.
And I do want to ask
Do
you a
your
question
job, man.
about the refs tonight, because I do not think that the refs were like horrible, had a terrible game or anything like that.
Yeah, I don't either.
But we had this conversation on multiple calls tonight. A penalty gets committed, you look at it and you go, while I understand that's a penalty, it's incredibly soft.
Yeah.
Is this a consistency problem with the refs? Is this your rule book is bad? Is this even a problem, or is it just something that we have to accept?
The actual officiating in this one really doesn't bother me that much, because you can look at every single one of those penalties and say that's a penalty. Regardless if you think, oh, it's soft or it's not, it doesn't really matter. You look at all of them and you say, yeah, that is a penalty.
Yeah.
Now, I'm really frustrated I was frustrated by the tripping again that happened against Nick Schmaltz at the very end.
Sure.
Because, yeah, the stick gets in the skates, but you also can physically see him push off of his leg to dive.
Yep.
And so that's a tough one for me. That's a little frustrating. There were what felt like some really obvious ones that didn't get called, but that's the NHL, man.
Okay.
That's just how it is. I really didn't have a problem. The linesmen were awful tonight.
Yeah.
Between that and the way that they were dropping pucks, it felt like they kicked everybody out of every face-off. I'm going to go back.
It is an Avalanche game.
Well, I'm going to go back and look at the runtime of this game, and it feels like it was 3 hours.
It did feel like a long
It felt
one.
like a
It
freaking
did.
baseball game with how long it took this game to get played. In part because the linesmen were so bad.
Yeah.
So but in terms of the actual officiating, the penalties and all that, man, I'm good. I really didn't have a problem. I thought it was fine.
I mean, when it goes back to officiating, and they're good guys, and I feel it's like a player, right? So it's about feeling of the game, and it's about rapport with the coaches or the players. You know what I mean? And that goes for the head officials, right? Dealing more with coaches and stuff, or you're talking about face-offs. It goes with the players and the sentiment for the linesmen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they have to have that rapport. They have to have that. And then you have to have a feel of where this game is going and how it's being played. But you're right. As soon as you start calling shit like that is so soft, it's a long night. Because you lose the feel of your game after, because you've already set the standard. Now if you're getting away from it, then you know what I mean? Then what does that tell you?
Yeah.
What does that tell the guys? So then you lose control of the game. I think it's very important. Referees they have a rapport. I think it's important that they have a feel for the game, and also there's one thing that they're out there for too, is the safety of the players. I know players have to protect each other, but they also have to control the tempers and all that kind of stuff. That's part of their job too. So things don't escalate, and sometimes you do have to make the right call, especially towards the end of a game. It's like, you know what, that's a 2 out of 10, you're gone. You know what I mean? You're kind of deflating or what can escalate to something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's important for them.
Yeah, you're talking about that rapport.
Yeah.
And it felt like, but especially between the linesmen on face-offs and stuff, because that was the thing that really bothered me tonight. That felt it was like sandpaper on bare ass, dude. It was not two things that just didn't mix.
What grit?
With grit.
It was
Jesus.
it was two things that just did not mix.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oil and water, I guess. Sorry.
That was unreal.
Both
Sandpaper,
are accurate.
ass, and grit. All right. That's a t-shirt. Sandpaper, ass, and grit.
Don't know if that one's going to sell very well.
Jesus.
I don't
I'd
know about
buy
that
that.
one. And I agree with you. I think, personally, I would like a better definition of a handful of penalties in the NHL via the rule book. I think there are some things where the NHL gets caught up in the letter of the law as opposed to the spirit of the law sometimes.
You're right.
That's always going to happen.
Right. And I'm not, again, I'm not blaming the refs tonight. Like you guys said, I don't think they were that bad. I just thought it was an interesting topic that I think both sides spent a lot of this game going, boy, there's a lot of soft calls in this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
weird. You know,
was worth talking about.
One of the few nights though that I felt coming out of it that I felt like at least the penalties were penalties.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, soft, not soft, whatever. But at least the penalties were penalties.
I got a stupid question, like, you know, since it's in our face, but the NBA All-Star Game ever gotten to 200 points on a team, or
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't think there's any defense being played there. I can tell
There's
you that.
not.
All right.
The other side of this, we never really got to see a great replay of it on altitude, but Georgiev gets beat on a play. They wave off the goal.
We have no idea what happened on that. I would love an explanation. I'm sure when I go back and watch the Arizona feed later,
There'll be
I'll get
18
one.
different
I'll be
angles
the
of it.
whistle.
Yeah.
I would assume it's the whistle, right?
That's my assumption
Yeah.
as well. I just don't know
you
for
said
sure.
it right away.
Yeah.
You know? I agree
Instead,
with your assumption.
we got 4 replays of
Everything but
Ross
that
Colton
goal
and Lawson
going.
Krause.
Yeah.
exchanging fisticuffs and screaming at each other.
No, we got the replay of the puck hitting the stanchion and at the other end and almost going in.
Is what do you guys make
true, man.
of that play? Is that a hey, the Avs got bailed out a little bit, you got a little bit lucky?
I don't
Take that and build confidence, or are you looking at Georgiev's reaction to that play and going, "Oh my God,
I'm not.
this guy is not locked in right now"?
Well, he had just gotten beat by Kerfoot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well,
I
the
don't care if it's
Kerfoot,
offside or not. He still got beat.
Well,
I mean,
right. I get
Kerfoot
it.
one is bad.
So
You
you
shouldn't
gotta
have given it up.
You got to remember, as a goalie, you know you got forget about you got bailed out on the offside. You got beat. You know what I mean? So mentally, you're like, oh, I just got beat. You
Well, and
know what
then,
I mean?
but
Like,
I'm saying then he gets beat again.
I know. Again, I don't know how because we never saw
And
it. but-
his temper boils over, though. We saw his temper lose it a little bit. That
Yeah.
part we did see.
Yeah, he picked up somebody's stick and
It was
It was
his
a
own
forward
stick.
stick.
I think
Yeah.
it was his own stick.
no,
No, I
he
think it was
picked
a
up a
It was a
skater
forward.
stick
Yeah.
and he
yeah. Lost his crapper a little bit there.
again.
Obviously, it worked out and they won the game,
Yep.
but
Couple good saves at the end. Yep.
I mean, fair credit that he did hold the 4-3 lead ultimately. From a viewer perspective, watching those 2 goals in didn't build any confidence in my eyes.
No, dude. The guy unofficially gave up 5 goals tonight and won a game. Hey, he leads the league in wins or whatever. Like, great, dude. Whatever. I'm done with this goaltender thing until he actually puts a string of quality games together.
Fair.
And starts to inspire any level of confidence at all.
Yeah.
Any level of confidence that this guy is not going to cost them a deep playoff run.
I'm still going after
Confidence
it.
ain't there for
I
me
don't
right
care.
now.
I'm going after it. Like, we're going to talk about it this week again. But and I know Fleury technically said, I'm here to help the Minnesota Wild get in the playoffs because they are legitimately in a race. But at the end of the day, like,
Yeah, man.
it's going to come down to they lose a game or 2, and then Billy's going to go see him and say, hey, where do you want to go? You can go to Edmonton, Colorado. I mean, do the list. We all know.
The last rumor was he wanted to stay in Minnesota.
No, that's what I'm saying. No. Technically, I did look into it. He never said I don't want to leave. He said my efforts and my thoughts are with the Minnesota Wild right now.
Right up
to help
until
them
they
get
aren't.
into. There you go. I'm using your line. It was good until it wasn't. You know,
Minnesota
right?
is in the race the same way that Haas is in the race in F1. Yeah,
They're out there.
Yeah, they're part of it.
If
but
everyone on
normally-
the track crashes, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. If absolute disaster strikes, then maybe. But otherwise, give me a break, dude.
I just want his presence. That's it. I'm advocating for it. What do you want me to tell you? I'm
I
going to keep
hear
doing
you.
it
I'm with you,
until
man.
it's not there.
I have no.
And I think 3 weeks from now,
just the presence.
it's now like
It's just the
2
boat would be
weeks and
stable
5
from-
days or something. But
If you're gonna do it, go and get someone like Fleury. Otherwise, just play Annunen and live with it.
dude. Yeah.
That's where I'm at with it.
I know. I'm with you.
Devon Taves does get the game-winning goal. We kind of already talked about it. Not a good night for him, but he shows up in a big moment. MacKinnon helps with the setup of the play, all that. Goals like that are big. I don't want to understate
Yeah.
that the Avs, in a game where it was a little bit of a wild one, there's a lot of weird stuff going on.
Yeah.
They find a way to get the critical goal and get a win.
It was a weird ass game, dude. And I can't stress enough, like, I know there's a lot of sentiment from people, chat, online, whatever, that we've already seen after this game about, oh, well, they just scraped by Arizona at home. Like, why should I feel any better about this team than I did at the start of the day? Or they won a game.
Yep.
And I tell you, Eric, you can absolutely, having lived this, speak to this better than I can, but the combination of they win a game coming off a very long road trip. They don't have a morning skate. They start their game at a weird time. A 4 p.m. home game start time is a weird time to play hockey. And they win a weird game.
Yeah.
When you're in those weird games, you just have to find a way through the adversity of it. Everything about it is uncomfortable. You're not in any kind of a rhythm. That game had no flow. For a variety of reasons, it had no flow.
Yep.
The whole point of that is to just get out with 2 points.
And that's what they did.
And they did exactly that. They should get full credit for that.
And I'll be honest, like, I always talk about that. You guys know that. I always talk about that first game back after a road trip. It is true. It is not a myth. It's real. It's just is a tough one for all the reasons. You have to live it. And I said before the game, I said, yeah, everything's out the window. It doesn't count because they had 2 days, you know. Boy, I got to be honest with you. There's a bit of a lie there. Like, I didn't feel good about it. And I didn't feel good because of the 4 o'clock start, the weirdness of it. And I was just like, oh, like, I don't like this. You know what I mean? I just don't. They're creatures of habits. Especially champions are. You know what I mean? There's some guys that, because champions are all about details, right? So when you're, it's not superstition, it's just creature of habits, it's details. And those guys are.
I like the idea of
Only superstitious people would say that.
reimagining superstitions as details.
Buddy,
it's very funny to me.
I'm just telling you right now, we'll have a show about it one day. I'm going to tell you, hey, you can get deep into it. Like, it's just like, and then you get thrown off. Like, it's so weird. And I didn't like it. I didn't like that start. It was a 2-week road trip, and some guys longer because of the All-Star game, and probably gone away for a couple days before the All-Star break. You know what I mean? Probably went away a couple places. I'm assuming Kale or, you know, these guys went a couple days before going to Toronto. So you're talking about 3 weeks. Like, but when you get back home like a couple days ago, it's a tough one. Like, and then you go to practice yesterday, and it's not like, oh, okay. And it's like, oh, right back at her tomorrow with that weird start. You know what I mean? And then you're like, what time do I have to go now? Like, how does this work? I didn't like it. I lied a bit. I apologize. I lied a bit. I was like, oh, it's out the window. It doesn't count. But, boy, I didn't like it. I was, like, really weary about it. But all in all, I thought it was a great effort. You know, was it a weird? Was it perfect? No, but there was a lot to it there. But we all know they played, you know, a team that's lost 9 in a row. Not, you know, Stanley Cup winning team.
What I do want to reinforce here is something we talked about earlier. Was it a weird game?
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you look at the underlying numbers of this game, certainly at 5-on-5,
Really good.
the Avs played well.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, let's not kid ourselves here.
That's what we were saying earlier.
Go to the even strength just because there were some
12
4v4 in
shots.
this.
Sure.
And they give up I believe it was 12 shots on goal.
And like 4 high danger.
At even
whatever.
strength.
It's not a ton.
12 shots on goal against.
That's even.
Something like that.
Corsi was 29-42. Fenwick 20-31 shots, 14-22.
14.
at even.
14?
close.
Okay.
At fives, it was indeed 12.
Okay.
There you go. So all in all,
A much
Thumbs up.
better defensive effort on the whole.
Just that high danger's 9-4 in the Avs' favor. So
Avs favor.
Yeah.
Avs favor.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
You give up 4 high danger chances and you give up 3 goals. Give me
Come
a
on.
break,
Give me
dude.
Stop. Come on. It was fine.
Yeah.
Thumbs up.
Exactly.
They did what they had to do.
Annoying.
You know what my favorite part about getting home is?
Gross.
What?
Gross.
It's my carpet.
Oh, gross.
I love my carpet. You get home, you rub your little feetsies into the carpet. You go,
Man, it does feel good.
I'm saying.
Dogs come off and you just kind of
exactly
settle
right.
on
Yeah.
in.
Dogs
you get
are
cozy. Make sure you have got the floor you want with Empire today. I get it. Not all people are carpet people. If you want the hardwoods, they've got beautiful hardwoods too. I'm not trying to. Well, that's not true. I am trying to convert you to a carpet person. Carpet is objectively better, and you're wrong if you think otherwise. But Empire
That's
today
the
does
best
both.
way to convert people. Tell them they're wrong.
You.
You can get the hardwoods too with Empire Today. You don't have to be a carpet truther like I am. It's okay. Go to Empire Today. Actually, you don't even have to go to Empire Today. You can order straight from your home. You can go online. They have tools where you can broadcast the flooring in on a virtual little thing. You can measure out your rooms, and they'll show you exactly what the floor might look like in that room. They have professional installers, all sorts of fantastic stuff to go check out. They'll take care of you, especially because when you schedule a free in-home estimate today, you can get a $350 off discount when you use the promo code, DNVR at empiretoday.com/DNVR. So get out there, go do it. At very least, get the free in-home estimate just to see. Maybe you like the carpet. Maybe you like the hardwood. Whatever it is. Get it with Empire Today. And then, once you get your carpet in and you install your little shelving units or your bookcases or whatever, Foco.com. Fill that bookcase up with some bobbleheads or some other merch or your jerseys or whatever it is. Foco has licensed apparel. You can get 10% off with code DNVR10 at Foco.com. They've also got pins and cracks and hats and the blankets, all sorts of craziness with Foco. Go check them out. Go find your sports merch. Doesn't even have to be the Avs. They got every team in the country, basically, with Foco.com. I have one more question for you, gentlemen.
Hold on. I need to know. Chat was asking, carpet in the bathroom?
No.
All right. We're cool. There was about to be a lot of judgment coming your way because I was like, you had me? That's gross.
Yeah, absolutely not in the bathroom. No, I'm not a psychopath.
Well,
not in that way, at least.
cool.
Final question for you, gentlemen. Miles could, Miles should, or Miles would?
Well, the way he pinned that puck behind the empty net with 14 seconds left, that was Miles good.
Hey!
All right, that was Miles good. This game was full of a lot of Miles should.
That's the life sometimes, though.
Yeah. It'd be like that.
Yeah, I love him. Even if he has a tough night, I love him.
All right.
Maybe that should be our Miles Wood shirt.
Great
It's
number.
just
I love
Miles. And it's just crossed out, and at the
Good
bottom
wood,
it just
should
says
good.
it says good at the bottom.
I like it.
Has this crazy toothless
I got the
grin on
remedy,
it.
though, for Kel McCarr.
What's that?
Very simple. Who's coming to town Tuesday?
Quinn Hughes.
Hey, buddy! He's going to rise up to the challenge.
We just saw MacKinnon do the exact opposite of that against Nikita Kucherov. So
Doesn't matter. He's going to do it.
You have Miles good. Do you have Quinn lose? Is that?
Yeah,
that
of
math
course.
adds up? All right. Sometimes that's the way it goes. I don't know. Do we have any super chats? I don't know. I don't think so. All right, cool. Only likes, no super chats. Understandable. I get it. Sometimes you just got to enjoy an Avs win in peace. That's all I got. Any final thoughts before we do wrap it up?
it felt like an overly negative pod at times, and I really didn't mean for it to be that way. But
I think we brought it back around.
It felt. I mean, that's a. You should only really feel truly good about the win overall.
Agree.
There are aspects of it that you cannot like, but overall, they won the game.
Yep.
They won a game that they had 2-1 and 3-2 deficits in.
Yeah, you're right.
Look, any
You won
night
the-
they
you won
win,
the
you
third
should
period
feel
of a
good
tied
about.
game.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Overall, it was good enough to win. At the end of the year, when you look at it, it's going to say W.
and
On that
even
line.
even with some of the problems they talked about,
Yeah.
not only did they win, you would take the way they played on probably everything but the number of penalties they committed.
yeah.
Again,
Yeah, outside of the discipline issues and the special teams,
you would
are
certainly
two
the even
things that-
strength. Yeah,
you're looking at and you're like, gross. But
at 5-on-5, you'd take them playing this way most nights.
dude, good
So-
game from them.
Take it where you can get it. Before we do go, takeover. First week of March against Minnesota.
Trade deadline day.
Indeed.
Come see the new Avs.
It's going to be busy.
Take over.
Yep.
Takeover is on deadline day.
It's going to be a long, fun day.
We're gonna get here at 9:00 in the morning, and we're gonna be here all day.
And then we'll get
when we
home
do all
past
the wrap,
midnight.
the
Yeah.
wrap up, and all that stuff, we'll go straight into takeover. Yeah,
It's going to be a hell of a day.
yeah, we're gonna be here all day.
I'm moving
Come
in.
join us for it. Have a good time with us. Come hang out. It's a fun time. You get to go to Ball Arena, you get to see an Avs game, you get to help them win. That's all I got. We're out of here. We appreciate y'all. We are off tomorrow for President's Day. We will be back, of course, for the game Tuesday. So tune in then. We will talk to you later.
We all silly like the mayor.